Welcome to Hidayah Reiki, www.hidayahreiki.com. And today we have these wonderful flowers. Yes, these beautiful, lovely flowers. Now today we're going to be talking again about this silent day. Let's talk about this silent day business. The reason why I'm bringing this up today is because I had an individual to ask me about meditation. This individual was struggling with the concept of meditation, really was interested in it, but felt like he was not going to be able to slow his mind down enough to learn how to meditate. And so I suggested the silent day. And I think that somehow threw him off, me suggesting a silent day over meditation. So first I wanted to clarify, what is it that we think meditation is? First, I think it's important for us to remember that, or to know that meditation simply means, or meditation simply implies quieting the mind down, quieting the processing of these messages constantly, the inner critic, the monkey mind, all day, keeping that inner dialogue going and going and going. With meditation, we simply are in a place where the inner dialogue has quieted, and we have more sustained periods where there's silence, there's peace, there's quiet. And so for some of us, meditation has been intimidating, especially if we are very anxious, if we are very active. We tend to be very passionate people. We have difficulty putting things down, meditating in the traditional sense, sitting in a lotus position, and all of that can seem to be a bit much. For other people, meditation in its traditional sense can seem like something they don't have time for, or they can't sit still for. While it may not seem as intimidating, it may seem like something that is unattainable. And so I wanted to qualify this silent day thing. What the silent day is aimed at is quieting the inner dialogue. As you go through the silent day, you become more and more aware of the inner quiet, the peace around you, the peace within you. And that in and of itself can take you to a place where you begin to realize, as you go throughout the day, you don't hear that inner critic. You don't have that inner thunderstorm that's just constantly going on and on and on. Did I wash the dishes? Who do I need to call? I gotta send the email. What are you doing? Who did she think she was talking about me yesterday? All of this crazy stuff. You don't have that anymore. So the quiet time, the silent day, simply means to pull inward, to stop the ruckus, to pull away from all of those things that demand and drain your attention throughout the day. People means family, friends, co-workers, your technology equipment, your cell phones, your iPad, your PCs, and so forth, cooking, chores, even journaling, anything that requires you to be online processing. As you know, this brain is sort of like a computer. It's constantly processing offline, constantly, surveying everything around it, processing things on a subconscious and conscious level. So what you're doing is you're helping to shut down some of the stimuli. You first wake up with the intention to have your quiet day. Well, before you even do that, you've got to know that it's a possibility. For some people, they feel like a day is too long. If that seems too long for you, do a half a day. Try 3 hours, but challenge yourself to do something that will take you out of your comfort zone. And remember, because I've heard before, I don't have time for the silent day. What do you have time for? If your personal transformation is important to you, then you need to invest what is required in order to personally transform. If you cannot invest in yourself, your peace of mind, your state of bliss, then what else is worth investing in? So I think it's important to consider your values before you just say, I don't have time. And keep in mind, even if you have a busy schedule, even if you have children, women and men, you can educate your children. You can train them for a few days, a little bit, off and on, 10 or 15 minutes each day. You can train them up until you actually decide to do the silent day. You can let them know what to expect, how you want them to cooperate. Mommy's going to be quiet for a long time, and you're really going to want to talk to mommy, but you're not going to be able to talk to mommy. Even though you might see me, you might want to sign me and do silent language. You really can't do that. Mommy needs to learn how to relax. Daddy needs to get a hold of himself. He almost had an accident last week, road rage, all of these things. So get your family's buy-in. Let them know what you're doing. You would be surprised that children are fascinated. They're fascinated by silent days, so don't count them out no matter their age. Otherwise, you'd be out for the day. I'm sure the wife will take the kids somewhere. You'll have some hours during the day by yourself, or the hubby may take the kids somewhere. You may have some quiet time, or go to the park, or rent a room at a hotel if that's the kind of scenario that works for you. So you wake up with the intent to have your silent day. Nothing's going to interrupt it. You go through the first few hours feeling restless, that inner critic, that brain that's processing, something like 400 billion bits of information every second is going crazy, and you don't know what to do, and you just need it to stop. You need your fix. You need your fix, whatever that might be. Maybe it's your phone. Maybe it's talking to your girlfriend. Maybe it's doing work. Some of us are addicted to work. Those things are not allowed. Suddenly, it dawns on you, you can't get your fix. You can't get your fix, so what are you going to do? You sit there. You sit there. You continue to sit there, or you walk there. Maybe you take your shoes off and you go for a walk. Whatever you do, you don't engage anything. All right? Those first few hours will be the most difficult for those of us who are embarking upon this for the first time, or for those of us who are on a normal basis, very stimulated. Getting close to nature is one of the best ways to make this day of benefit to you, whether it's sitting by the window, looking at the sunset or the sunrise, whether it's going outside, taking your shoes off, feeling the prana, the life force, whether it's sitting by a waterfall, if you're near a waterfall or a body of water, the ocean, the lake, or even just sitting out on the carport or outside your garage, in front of the garage doors with a chair, and just looking around the neighborhood. There are so many ways to come in contact with life force. Looking at the blades of grass, watching the wind blow, tuning into the birds. Whatever it is, once you get past that initial turbulence that you're going to feel, and you decide you're in this to win it, find a piece of nature to commune with. This will help you. It will calm you. It will set right your affairs. It will set straight your priorities. It will remind you of what it is you're trying to accomplish. So once you do that, you're going to begin to notice a certain serenity, a certain calmness. Something that you hadn't felt in a while is going to descend upon you. And suddenly it's going to dawn on you that that voice, you didn't hear it. It didn't say anything for maybe 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Some of you might even experience a situation where, especially if you're outside, you kind of feel like you're having a daydream, but you are awake. You're mindfully awake. You're not sleeping because you don't want to sleep. Sleeping during your quiet day defeats the purpose, because sleeping, you're totally unaware of anything in most cases, and sleeping is an escape for most people. It's an outlet. Other than the sleep that we must have as a necessity, sleeping is not something that you want to do on your silent day. So you begin to notice something else descending on you, and it comes very gradually. You'll be maybe thinking about something, because remember, you don't necessarily want to engage any particular thought. You don't have to take it too far. You don't want too much effort. You don't want anything on your mind that's going to stress you out, or that is a reminder of your to-do list. You're adding more anxiety when you circulate those kind of thoughts. Essentially, what you want to do is just sort of relax and go with the flow. Wherever your mind takes you, let it take you. You don't have to engage it. If you do, don't engage it to the degree that you would normally. And you continue to do this throughout the day. You're going to realize that as time goes on, the heaviness of the peace is continuing to penetrate you. You are feeling more alive, yet calmer. You're feeling clarity at a level that you never have before. Suddenly, you feel energized, yet profoundly relaxed. You are in tune with all of the things that are going on around you in the universe. You can hear. You have a sudden appreciation for the dead silence, which might have driven you crazy earlier that day. Suddenly, you feel alive. You feel wonderful. This is what the silent day does for you. This is what you need. It can help jumpstart the process to meditation. It can help show you what you will get when you begin meditating on a regular basis. And it is a profound way to increase your vibration. As you come out of this silent day, maybe it's when the wife and the children get in from work, or maybe it's when the hubby comes in with the kids, or maybe it's when you retire to bed at night, you're going to feel some kind of way. You're going to be thinking to yourself, wow, suddenly your thoughts are not racing as much. All of those things you thought you had to do. Interestingly enough, they don't carry the same level of priority that they did earlier that morning or the day before. And then you say to yourself, okay, I've got to get back into the world. I've got to go back to work tomorrow, or the silent day is over. Ask yourself, what did I learn? What did I accomplish? Was it worth it? What in the way of mindfulness can I take into my day tomorrow to ensure that I remain peaceful, to ensure that I don't race as much, or I see the illusion of the life that we live and I understand that that is not reality, that the reality is within me, that the reality is the silent observer that watches, okay, that the reality participates, but the reality is also the observer that has that objective point of view and actually can watch what's going on, that gives you the ability to respond to situations creatively without being in reactive mode. Tune in to your mindfulness and consider a silent day.